Hello everyone and welcome to Tough Crit, where we'll be talking about a variety of all things Dungeons & Dragons, TTRPG, and fantasy content. Before we get into any of that, let's start with some introductions around the table. Max, why don't you start?
I'm Max, I live in New York. I started playing Dungeons & Dragons during the pandemic. One of the things that got me really into Dungeons & Dragons was books like Narnia and Dragonlance and Lord of the Rings when I was a kid. I was introduced to Critical Role and I binge watched about 800 hours of that content over the summer. I joined the game in January 2021, which is eventually where I met John and eventually Rick. We've been playing about 3 years now and it's been great.
Yeah. Nice.
Hi, I'm Jonathan. I'm from the Square State of Colorado. I've always loved like fantasy and different novels growing up, but what really got me into it was, oddly enough, Borderlands 2 and one of its DLCs. So I didn't really even start playing until about 2019. Quickly became a dice goblin in the middle of a bunch of failed campaigns before ultimately finding a great DM online and starting this campaign with Max and later Rick.
Nice, and I'm Rick. I live in North Carolina, which is where this southern accent is coming from. I got into D&D with Skyrim and books like Aragon. I played my first real game in August of 2021 with these two guys, and I have a total of 4 PCs made so far, and my main one has been brought back to life 3 times already. I currently play a weekly game with a professional dungeon master with Max and John. John, how did you initially join the table that eventually brought all of us together?
So yeah, like I said, like I had done a bunch of like failed home games, tried doing it with friends, and started just looking around online, just trying to see what was available because I really wanted to play, and found this DM who had made this post and be like, "Hey, I'm running one shots. If you really want to try and see how like it is with my tables." And ended up joining kind of last minute, and he had these prefab characters for all of us, and we ran through a prison escape dungeon, which we should have died. Like there's no explanation. Like it was busting down doors. I don't know. Like Max, what was your reaction to all that?
I agree. For a first D&D dungeon crawl, that was we should have died. There were so many things we could have avoided, and instead we just kind of pushed through and really got lucky at the end, and even luckier when our DM decided and asked us to start a table together, which we did, where me and John started off together, and then about 5 months later we had a spot available, and I had searched D&D Beyond for new players, and that's where I found Rick looking for a group to join, and quickly got him involved and got him into our table. And Rick, you can talk about how that was when you joined.
Yeah, I was looking for a table. I was super into to D&D, or getting into it from the pandemic, and I made a post on the forums of D&D Beyond looking for a group, and I was very surprised when I actually got a message back. And whenever Max let me know about the group, I didn't have any experience with playing with people online, so I was super sketched out at first. But I'm very excited that I joined, and here we all are, 3 years later. So yeah, now that we have those introductions though, on this channel you can expect a variety of content, including but not limited to stories about our personal campaign, interviews with players from all walks of life,
some tips about fleshing out your characters, and also drawing inspiration from other works,
building our favorite fictional characters in D&D, the Hero Forge process, including printing and painting, any nerd stuff we can think of that relates to D&D.
And that's just to name a few. We'd love to actually hear from you guys. What topics are you curious about? What challenges are you facing in your campaigns? Drop your ideas and questions in the comments below.
We're committed to creating content that not only entertains, but also helps you enhance your D&D experience. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell to stay updated on all our latest videos.
And thank you so much for joining us on this adventure. We're excited to embark on this journey with you. And until next time, may your rolls be high and your adventures epic.